Tout bel programme, ou remoué yo n'a poté tout pour. N'importe quoi ta route, for just what TV a fini chez nous. Politique, nous là, belle musique, toujours là. Couverture tout événement spécial. For just what TV, entrevue, nous là. Documentaire, toujours là. Cinéma à cuisine, puis nous du sport. Nous t'égons commencement qu'on a à faire au glace. N'est pas quoi ta route, for just what TV a fini chez nous. Tout bel programme, ou remoué yo n'a poté tout pour. N'est pas quoi ta route, for just what TV a fini chez nous. N'est pas quoi ta route, for just what TV a fini chez nous.
Once again, welcome to ANDEDAN POLITIC avec Monsieur Michael Gagger, cap running for sheriff. Welcome to ANDEDAN POLITIC avec Michael Gagger, who is running for sheriff versus Mr. Bradshaw, the incumbent. Today it's a pleasure again to have Mr. Gagger in our studio. He's not a stranger to the community. He's been around, and then today we're going to have a little talk to kind of once again, we not only reintroduce him, but rather for you to understand, the severity, why you should go out and vote for him. Why is it important for you to be engaged in this campaign for Michael Gagger? Good afternoon, Mr. Gagger.
Good afternoon.
So how have you been, sir?
I'm fine.
Once again, welcome to the studio again.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah. Although the community knows you, I like you to really, since it's going to be we are closer to the election. I'd like you to once again reintroduce yourself again.
Okay.
Who is Michael Gagger?
Michael Gagger was raised on a dairy farm in the Illinois-Wisconsin state line and was taught a tremendous work ethic and worked very, very hard on that farm. And that's a work ethic that stayed with me. I came down here to Florida in January of 1969 with only 30 cents in my pocket. I couldn't get a full-time job, 3 part-time jobs, and everything went very well. And then I met people in the sheriff's office, and they offered me a position.
Wow.
And so I joined and started working undercover narcotics the first year, and got hired full-time in January 1971. And then I started going up the ranks, from patrol officer, the sergeant, the lieutenant, captain, and then working so much in the community, bringing special programs that made such a difference in those communities. It reduced crime 80 to 90%, and once I did that, I brought in after-school programs and athletic programs, worked with the kids, worked with the families, made a difference, turned those neighborhoods around, and made people safe.
Yeah. So tell us, where you pick up your strength from? Because is it your family? Is it from your family? Is it the work ethics that the work ethics that you have now? Because it seems like you're a hard worker.
Well,
but that must have come from someplace. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. Well, the one thing, I was an adopted child at 9 months of age, but my adopted family raised me in the church. I am a man of faith, and that's where I draw my ethics and integrity from. So I'm a strong man. I serve on my church council. And as I went up the ranks, I was trained. In fact, the Department of Justice brought me up to Washington, D.C. and taught me how to teach other policemen about ethics and integrity. So that's what I do. That's where I am, and I've never lost that work ethic or my faith in doing the right thing.
So you're a man of faith.
Man of faith, and a man who cares about other people.
Yeah.
And that's so obvious because of the programs that I brought to the neighborhoods and programs that I built that help addicts become sober and straight and change their lives. Young people who got put in a special program from 12 to 15 to help change their lives. That we're getting off track.
But these type of programs that you introduced to the sheriff department, it must have come from someplace. You talked to me before about being a social worker.
Yes, well, I've always had the heart and belief in that because when I was young, people helped me. And I always wanted to help other people.
Okay.
So when people are down, when people make mistakes. It doesn't mean everybody is terribly bad. There are terribly bad people out there that need to be arrested and put in jail.
Right.
And I did a lot of that.
Right.
I
I guess since the Lord give us a second chance, you women of second chance.
Yes, of course, if you want it, and you'll work for it.
Right.
You know, if you will work for that. If you go to my website, gaugerforsheriff.com,
You just want the website, gaugerforsheriff.com.
yes, you will see people there that I have arrested,
Ou après, moun qui était arrêté déjà.
and we're facing one guy facing life in prison.
Il y a été supposé dans la prison.
We gave him one more chance. He went to the sheriff's drug farm.
Il y a une dernière chance et puis là, il est dans le drug sheriff drug fund.
He is now
Côté il est
straight.
libre pour drugs.
He's straight and sober 32 years,
Depuis là, ça, monsieur pas boisson encore pour 32 ans.
and other men the same. Other men that are on the video.
So meaning that he's a functioning member of society.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
and he's now a dad. He's now a son
Okay.
or a brother. You know, and that's what's important.
Ok, c'est très important. Donc, lui-même, training ni c'est social work too. Donc, ça s'appelle compassion. He's a man of compassion, a man of faith. Donc, c'est ça que je vais faire connaître. Sous que nous élus Michael Gauger, you will be able to tell the difference. Sous élu, ou après différence. So let's talk about crime, you know, because people seems to, whenever I read about the community that we live now, the community has boomed, you know, different ethnic groups, different languages. How would you, the terms, you know, attack such a thing? Because it's so diverse.
Well, I brought in programs, cultural diversity.
Ils even put a programme de cultural diversité.
In fact, we taught how to deal in the Haitian community, in the Creole community, and the Muslim community, because everybody has different cultures.
Et tout le monde a différentes cultures. Ça fait que c'est haïtien, que c'est islamique communautaire. Donc on approche pour ça.
They come from countries that they're afraid of the police.
Il dit qu'il y a un pays qui est sorti, qui a peur de la police.
And I wanted them to learn they don't have to be afraid.
Il fait laisser apprendre qu'il n'y a pas besoin de peur de la police.
That I am there as a friend,
Il dit il est là comme nos amis.
and I will help.
La paix d'eux.
But if you commit a crime,
But sauf un crime,
I'm going to hold you accountable.
of course. So you like a carrot and stick.
Yes.
You know, if you want the carrots, you give it to them.
And you'll see that in my website.
Amen. But before we really go to the campaign itself, what about the drugs epidemic? You know, forget about marijuana. The drugs that people seems to be overdosing over. You know, what would the fentanyl, for example?
Mhm.
You know, what would you do to kind of help alleviate this thing for this community?
Well over 7 years ago,
Is it plus de 7 ans de ça?
I had already arranged to have Narcan
Il était fait arrangement pour dire que Narcan ne sont antidotes.
available to
Disponible.
all policemen.
Pour tout policeman qui gagne Narcan, yo non mais pour chaud.
It was donated to the sheriff's office,
Yo te bail chez pour
And fire rescue.
Fire pompier
was going to do the training.
pompier t'a pas fait training pour policeman.
And Sheriff Bradshaw walked into that meeting with fire rescue
Chef Boisson entré dans meeting là avec pompier yo.
and yelled, I'm not going to repeat exactly what he said, but we are not going to carry Narcan.
Et puis il dit nous Chef Boisson dit nous pas bâti police Narcan.
And about a year ago, he was forced
Et puis un an de ça, il était forcé lui
to accept and let deputies carry it.
pour être d'accord pour député capable de restaurer.
Yeah.
So because that has been able to save a lot of lives.
Oh.
The Narcan. So congratulations once more.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
I like that, you know.
And then years ago, too, 5-6 years ago, I did a lot of work on the body cameras.
Il dit que de 5 ou 6 ans de ça, il fait un peu de travail pour mettre des caméras sur le monde.
I would have worn a body camera
Il
when I was
dit
young.
les mêmes tous, s'il était disponible, ça t'a mis des caméras sur lui.
In fact, I used to carry a little camera and a recorder, and I would record
Il
things.
dit à l'époque ça, il était une caméra sur lui, pour te recorder ça qui a passé. Il a arrêté au monde.
And so I had all the information on body cameras, but the sheriff said no.
Il dit toutes les informations dans la caméra, il a dit que le shérif là même pas d'accord avec ça.
Instead of spending the money on them, he wanted to spend the money on other things.
Of course, il dépenser l'argent pour policiers, pour capable améliorer les policiers, il dépenser l'argent dans notre bagaille.
And now he was finally forced to get cameras. a year and a half ago.
Et puis Kounia là, mais utiliser caméra. Ce qui peut dire Mr. Gagger, son nèg qui prêt, you know, son nèg qui il take ton well, il a vision, he has a vision, he can see things. So this is the type of leader that we need in the community. Now, the campaign.
Yes.
I know you've been campaigning for quite a while now,
Yes.
and facing a dinosaur like Sheriff Bradshaw.
Yes.
But when I look at Sheriff Bradshaw, it doesn't look well. But you seem to be full of energy.
Yes.
So the other day I was talking to some of my friends in my Mr. Gilles Series. I said, look, if Mr. Gagger was the sheriff, I would have expected him to be in North Palm Beach, Wellington in person, to show compassion. So suppose during the hurricane, what's just happened just now with Milton, how would you handle it?
Well, I'm the guy that would be out front. I have always been out front. Even as a sergeant, lieutenant, captain,
Il dit comme
major,
sergent, lieutenant major, il est toujours là, toujours présent.
colonel, and chief
Et
deputy.
puis comme colonel et aussi député chef, en chef.
I was always out there in the front,
Il est toujours dehors, actif dans devant.
and I would have been out there during this one
Il dit
too.
pendant Milton, il dit pendant hurricane, il est là tout devant.
In fact, in Wellington, where I live,
Au contraire, dans Wellington, côté il était là,
I saw the hurricane
Is it-
and tornado coming towards my neighborhood.
il dit il était ouais que ni hurricane ni tornado a cabine sous lui, côté il était là, dans le quartier là.
Thankfully, it turned north,
Il dit ah Dieu merci, il virait comment what you said not the hurricane, the tornado.
the tornado.
Le tornado virait au nord.
Yes.
Sorry.
And so I got in my truck
Mhm.
and I went to the neighborhoods that were hit
Okay.
to see if I could help.
Malgré que le pas shérif Kounia, il montait truck li pour aller au pour de secours avec l'autre monde.
I saw terrible
Il
devastation.
dit il y a un pile de dévastation.
It was sad.
A big
Beautiful
guy.
homes destroyed.
Yes, I know Wellington.
Yes.
Beautiful places.
Cars turned upside down.
Machine virée sous dos,
Big tree limbs stuck through the roof of
pied
a
bois,
house.
toute racine tombée sur ma caille moun yo.
And tremendous sadness. People crying.
People, yeah. C'est très triste parce que le monde attristé avec ça qui est passé. So in other words, it was really sad, you know, because I know Wellington is a very beautiful place, but first and foremost though, it takes a lifetime to build a home.
Yes.
A home that, you know, sometimes the grandparents and everything else.
Well, that's how I started. I bought a tiny little house and,
Yeah.
you know, fixed that up and then built a nicer house and
Yeah.
you know, I
Il
moved
commence
up.
graduellement, tu achètes un petit cas, et puis de là, you know, il vend, et puis il achète l'autre là. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, the campaign now.
Yes.
So, where do you stand now with the campaign? How are you doing the campaign?
I think I'm doing very well. I have been endorsed by the two major newspapers, Sun Sentinel and the Palm Beach Post. And if they read those editorials and announcements, they'll see why they
Il dit
chose me.
Sentinelle et Palm Beach Post endorsé lui pour comme shérif.
Yeah, and they explain why they chose me.
Et puis il expliqué pour qui raison ils choisi.
And I'm a Republican.
Il dit sont républicains qu'il est.
They usually don't pick a
Yeah, I know Palm
Republican.
Beach Post is there.
Yes. But they know my
yet they
history.
endorse you.
They know my history.
Parce qu'ils connaissent l'histoire lui.
They have been writing articles for many years
Hein?
about my accomplishments and the things that I have done for the community.
Il a dit qu'il y a quelqu'un qui a écrit un article sur lui-même, ça que le fait dans la communauté.
They know my honesty and integrity,
Il y a que honnêteté lui avec intégrité.
and they explain that in the paper.
Et lui expliquer ça dans la position qu'il prend, puis on endorse là.
I was very honored by,
Il était très honoré de ça.
and the difference is,
La différence là,
I will be transparent.
il est transparent.
The current sheriff is not.
Il dit mais shérif qui reconnaît pas transparent.
He hides things from the public.
Il couvrit bah yo pour public là pas ouais.
He hides things about his budget.
Il couvrit pas révéler budget.
He doesn't tell the truth.
Il pas dit vérité.
In fact, he had a commercial today on television
Au
that told all lies.
au contraire, je dis à lui, monsieur, mettons un advertisement dehors, on réclame dehors, qui vraiment, c'est mentinette li bail sur monsieur Gagger.
And we will have an advertisement that shows the truth about everything that was said.
Donc monsieur Gagger va répondre, monsieur, il va montrer que ça, monsieur dit, ah, c'est pas vrai.
Yes.
So, but that seems to be politics, right? Isn't it?
Well, but you know what? I'm a man of integrity.
Of course.
I have people on my team that wanted me to go after certain things. I won't do that.
Yeah.
I will deal only with the facts and the things that he has done that is wrong. And the reason why I left the agency.
Monsieur Gaga dit lui-même son intégrité. Donc lui-même c'est pour ça qu'il a quitté l'agence, il y a l'agence police là, parce que il y a manque d'intégrité. Donc lui-même, il va pas mentir sur le monde. So which means most of the things you're going to reveal about him is going to be the truth, nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth.
All right. Okay, now, right now, the absentee ballot already going to. I've seen the absentee ballot already. I have mine.
Yes.
Vote by mail.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you feel about that? Do you want people to vote by mail?
Yes, please vote by mail.
Mm-hmm.
Get in and order that now.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a short period of time now to still get that vote by mail.
Yes, you do.
And then get that in and mail and
Ils ont même qui recevoir ballot tout déjà. S'il vous plaît, vote by mail. Si vous recevoir request, vous demandez pour être capable de. Yes, sir.
I think that's very, very important.
Ils disent que ça très important.
And then make sure you get your friends to vote as well.
Ils disent bien sûr, assurer que vous faites un mot voter. And also, présent mon à voter avec lui. Early voting, présent mon à voter avec lui. Mais elle vote à petit tout. Pour le cas commencer des conditions pour le voter. I just told them to take their kids to vote for,
Sure. Yeah,
to give them the culture.
Yes.
Because sometimes I think we lost the culture
Yes.
of voting. It's people think it's only for I would say presidential election they vote.
Right.
Yet it is important to vote for sheriff. Because the sheriff is who is going to control your neighborhood, who's going to control your security. Mr. Gaga is the man.
Well, they talk about problems in Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh.
Well, we have to clear the problems up in Palm Beach County.
Of course.
You
Ils
know.
ont parlé de problème de Washington DC, mais il faut problème de comment c'est nettoyé depuis là dans Palm Beach County.
Look at the sheriff's budget.
Ils ont regardé pour budget sheriff là.
Is almost $1 billion.
Le budget c'est $1 milliard de dollars. That's what it's in French. $1 milliard. $1 billion, that's a lot of money.
Yes, and he spends it foolishly.
Il me suis dépensé les qui va.
Top office space,
Gros bel office.
Class A office space. He spends $55,000 a month
Monsieur
for
dépensé
just
$55 000 par mois
less than 12 people.
pour moins de 12 moun.
Spent $400,000 building temporary office space. Temporary. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to build it out. $150,000 for furniture and $27,000 for gym equipment for his office.
Right. Yeah, oh my God.
No, that money needs to go to the community for programs that make a difference.
Okay. Now, early voting starting about October 22nd, and also now we're going to November 5th. So now, what are you doing to mobilize people, to get people truly motivated to go out and vote?
I am out every day,
Is il dehors chaque jour,
every night.
chaque soir?
We're sending out text messages and emails, and we'll have advertising.
Ok, il voit text message, et puis il fait advertising, email, et c'est comme ça qu'elle a motivé moun.
I am coming out and visiting the communities.
Il est toujours dehors, la visiter différentes communautés.
I'm going to the churches,
Il est dans l'église,
and I have had so much support.
il a pile support.
You know, the Haitian community that I have worked with for
Il
years
dit avec le peuple haïtien qu'il travaille avec les communautés haïtiennes, il travaille avec lui pour des années.
have seen me and have accepted me with open arms.
Il dit que il a accepté lui avec main ouverte.
I will.
Bras ouvert.
I am not a man who walks away. I am a community man. I will always be in the
Il est
community.
son homme de la communauté, il va un monde qui a juste venu pour le virer d'ol.
You haven't seen my opponent.
Il dit jusqu'à présent toujours nous beaucoup j'aime M. Boachaw.
He's too busy hanging out in Mar-a-Lago and
Of
the
course.
country clubs.
Playing golf.
Yes.
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 I guess he's a golfer.
Well, it's not so much anymore because he's so ill.
He's so ill, yeah. We feel sorry for him. Yeah. Yes.
I don't wish this on the man that was my friend. But It's sad to
It's
say.
sad to say, yeah. But listen, this is the way life goes. You need to replace it.
Yes.
Now we need new blood,
Yes.
new approach, because the community is really is in need of a new sheriff, you know. Okay.
And I'm very healthy. I'm in the gym 5 days a week.
Si tu dis en santé, il a fait exercice 5 jours par semaine.
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 heures du matin. What, 5 o'clock in the morning?
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I get up at 4, in the gym at 5,
Yes.
before I start my day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Now that we know, I would like to get the community involved, you know, for the few weeks that we have left.
Well, donations help.
Donation, you know. Moi, je suis venu pour la communauté et entrer dans la bataille. Il dit donation, aider.
They can do it through my website.
You can know website li.
They can mail it to the address listed.
Ou can mail li nan et campaign of Michael Garger, P.O. Box 16481, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33416. That's the info at Garger Sheriff.
Yes, yes,
That's what they can send.
yes. It's yes.
Right. Okay.
The Gauger campaign at P.O. Box 16481, West Palm Beach.
Florida
33416.
33416. Right. Okay. Or you can email. You can email to at info@gargerforsheriff.com.
Yes, and they have a thing where they can
You can just point the camera.
point the camera, and then it'll give them where they can send it by credit card.
Okay.
But $10,
Then yeah.
$25,
Then further, yeah.
whatever somebody can afford, it all just shows the support and gives me a little something.
Yeah.
to
Be
work with.
engaged. Be engaged. Because Kamala Harris picked up $1 billion as of yesterday.
Oof.
So and then most of the money come from small donations.
Yes.
So $5, $20,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and then of course they keep on asking you for more, you know.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So meaning, si Kamala Harris a ramassé $1 billion, c'est que Mr. Michael Garger, tout lui-même, ceux qui ont nous font des donations, $5, $10, $20, $30, ça qu'on afford, nous avons aidé la campagne. Parce que si on a là, ou leur un problème, leur les shérifs là, ou pas j'aime moi, Mr. Bradshaw, mais Monsieur promet tout ça. And furthermore, Michael dit comme ça que lui-même, là qu'il become shérif, n'a pas pointé une community liaison personne. Pour moun ça, capable de en contact avec la communauté, pour le connaître, c'est oreilles qui capent la communauté. Pour le connaître qui ça que la communauté a besoin.
I have been very active in hiring people and encouraging people who represent all of our communities, our Creole communities, our Spanish communities, our Muslim communities.
Yes.
You know, all the communities that we need a representation at the sheriff's office of all these different communities. And I will have a liaison.
Right.
You know, sheriff has a liaison for the Jewish community.
Yes.
You know, but you know, I'm going to have one for every one of our groups. So, and you know, I
So
want
you
my
know,
deputies to get in the community.
They're going to accuse you of messing with the budget.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to look at that budget very closely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, like, but you are living in a county that seems to be growing by leap. You know what? Particularly now, I'm thinking because of the way the hurricane did, coming mostly from the Gulf Coast and going across. So Palm Beach County is going to absorb a lot more people. So as sheriff, what would you do to prepare for that?
I will work with the county to be on top of it. But I think that what we see here is that the county always provided fire rescue stations.
Okay.
You know, but we were always behind. When I was the captain down south from Lantana Road to Broward County, they were building 40,000 homes a year in that area.
Right.
They were getting fire stations, but they weren't giving us the deputies. And I will make sure that we get with the deputies. But I will use the money correctly to get the representation out there that is needed.
Mr. Garger, don't you feel the sheriff department now is really getting too big? Because Leeward don't have a police department. Greenacres right now don't. I mean, most cities that used to have police department don't have anymore.
Well, they can't afford it.
The responsibility for you guys is really getting bigger.
But that's okay. We have the management, and the important thing is to get the right training, to get them to do the right thing, and get out into the community and represent the people and service the people and make sure that crime goes away as much as we can.
The programs that you used to push, that's no longer around, would you be able to restore, and where would you get the money?
Absolutely. Well, I don't need to spend the money on a fancy office.
Fancy office, okay.
I would have put a double wide out in front of the headquarters where it was being remodeled.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't spend that kind of money. That money goes to the community.
Okay.
You know, there's so many different ways that those big payouts. One guy I'm told walked away with $1.2 million.
Wow! Yeah.
You know, that takes away. How many cars could we build? How many programs in the neighborhood could I do with that? I will rebuild those programs that are important to the community, not to living in luxury offices, not to driving big fancy GMC Denali's to his administrative staff, or getting a new car every year. I don't need a new car every year. I'll keep my car like I did 2, 3, 4 years. You know, I don't need a new car every year.
Okay. En tous les cas, Mr. Michael Gallagher dirait nous connaître que ils sont qui très thrifty when it comes to budget. He's a financial person, although he's a social worker. He's also financially tight-fisted. He will spend your money wisely. Even a larger program, the one that we don't need, we can get rid of. But the program that assists people to be able to give you a second chance, that's the one that is after to push. But now, of course, if you commit crime, souffre crime, il va pas jouer avec criminel. Mais ceux qui sont deuxième chance ou besoin, c'est jeune Simon. Tu as un vaccin programme dans tout, qu'il t'a aidé à implémenter qui pas là encore. Donc si Simon n'a pas un programme ça, il ne peut pas fonctionner dans la communauté. That's why you should vote for Mr. Michael Gallagher. If you want integrity, if you want a man of compassion, if you want a man that understands, that can relate to you, good interpersonal relationship, Mr. Michael Gallagher has proven himself to be that man. Mr. Michael Gallagher dit comme ça que son compassion, son qui a intégrité, son qui montre que il veut travailler avec la communauté. Ou même quand tu as des kounia là, dans la radio là, s'il vous plaît, pas oublier Michael Gallagher. Michael Gallagher, I have to talk to make sure that people understand where we come.
You know, my Haitian community, they are such a hard-working community. Mom and dads came here to build a better life.
Yes, sir.
Took 2 jobs, not one.
Right.
Working day and night.
Disons que comme la communauté travaille dur, puis ils prennent 2 jobs pour être capable de travailler ni la journée ni la nuit.
And it'll be important to help them in those communities, you know, with the programs for their kids.
C'est très important pour nous créer programme de communauté pour aider parents ça.
Yes. And those are the things that I care. They're a community of faith as well.
Right. It's a community qui croit dans the Almighty.
I respect my Haitian.
They respect the Haitian.
So
that's it. So, but now, lastly, and I'm going to go out to campaign now.
Yes.
So now, what else can we do other than donation? We want to be able to canvass. Should the people? Where would we go to get people to canvass for you? Well, I mean, not to get people, but rather to go out to canvass for you. Do you have a place like every Saturday that people meet where they can go out and give out leaflet for you?
Well, yeah.
Maybe these people can help you like that.
Well, I have leaflets if they would like to hand them out to their friends.
Okay.
I have that. These are like the things that we have. We have door hangers.
Where would they, where would they go to get this?
If they just ask on my website.
Website, okay.
Yeah, and have some place where we can deliver them. That's what we will do.
Okay, il dit sous d'avoir un canvas pour lui. Just contacter website là. Et pour faire connaître, il a porté au bas nous, et puis nous-mêmes nous aller nous frapper n'importe où, go dans flea market yo, côté nous connaît un haïtien qui citizen. But you must be a citizen to vote, don't forget that. Faut son citoyen pour voter. Mr. Gallagher va dire n'importe qui peut voter pour lui. Mais ou même qu'on y a là, ou faire request là, ou faire réquisition pour demander qui côté que ou jeune papier ça yo pour bailler avec monde ça avec famille avec ma tante ou petit cousine nous connecte citoyen pour aider Michael Gallagher pour réussir campagne. November 5th, le 5 novembre, c'est le dernier jour pour voter. Mais sous pour early voting, commencer octobre 22 octobre, 22nd of October. On va commencer early voting. Donc, là, c'est mettre une pied dehors. Michael Gallagher fait tout ça capable. Il vient dans le studio, là, il coopère, il parle avec nous. Now, the ball is in your shoe. Peuple haïtien. Nous entendons Michael Gallagher, nous voyons qui nous nie, nous voyons que l'idée, by the way, one of the commercials says, you work for all the lawyers, of course, you work for all the lawyers to assist people.
Well, and one of the commercials says, I now work for lawyers that sue the police. When the police are doing terrible things,
Of course.
they need to be sued.
Les disciples font mauvais bagage, il faut ça signer. Of course.
When you are a sheriff and you're not holding your own people accountable, or you're in bed with the union and cover things up, I'm not going to do that.
Monsieur pas dans jouet lui-même, il ne peut pas faire bail comme ça. Depuis que c'est police ou droite, la supporter. Mais si on fait bail qui pas bon, forget it. No tolerance. Zero tolerance. Yeah.
Transparency.
Transparency. Anyway, now look at the camera and then make the last speech.
I am Michael Gallagher.
C'est Michael Gallagher.
If you will look at my website
Sous le cadre de notre website,
and share my website with all of your friends
ou montrer tous les amis au website là.
and ask them to share
Ou demander pour séparer toi
with their friends
avec les amis par eux.
and get them to vote,
Vous faire convaincre pour y aller voter.
you will get a sheriff who will represent all communities,
On a un shérif qui a représenté toute communauté en son entier,
who you will see in your
qui
community,
va pouvoir voir dans la communauté,
and not in the communities that don't make a difference.
pas dans la communauté qui va faire différence.
Yes. Where you need me the most, I will be,
Quand on a plus besoin, c'est là la pied.
and I will have an open door.
Il a un libre ouvert, des portes ouvertes, ou n'importe qui a besoin à jouer avec.
I am a friendly, caring man.
Il dit son qui est amicable, il prend soin de monde, et puis c'est quel type de monde ça qu'il y a.
And so I am here to help.
Il dit il est là pour l'aider.
That's, what more can I say? Thank you.
Il va quand même te dire merci. And then if you want to reach him now, you go to campaign of Michael Gallagher, P.O. Box 16481, campagne pour Michael Gallagher, P.O. Box 16481, P.O. Box 16481, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33416. Ou bien que vous fait information, info, I-N-F-O, at commercial, Gallagher, G-A-I-G-E-R, F-O-R, sheriff, S-H-E-R-I-F-F.com. Info at GallagherForSheriff.com. Okay, then you do this, contact him, si vous voulez pas une donation, it can be $10, $20, $25, or as much as you have. But pas hésiter, you can start with 10, li welcome it. Parce que campagne a besoin quoi pour que pas chercher bus pour aider les gens pour aller voter. Okay, and the day of the vote, I told them that the campaign do need to get these people to the voting booth.
Sure.
And that money, if they contribute it, will help assist them.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you. Thank
Pleasure
you,
to be here.
and good luck.
Thank you.
I know you will make it.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, thank you. C'était avec nous dans Michael Gallagher dans ANDEDAN POLITIC. Michael Gallagher son pour shérif. Michael Gallagher pouvait être la communauté, son social worker, son police, son député police et chef police qui était, mais qu'on y a là, il besoin de gérer police département pour être pas le shérif département pour être capable de faire une différence. Son monde qui connaît le monde, son monde qui est amicable, son monde qui est compassionné, son monde qui est madame petite qui là dans la communauté, il vit dans Wellington, mais il dit que sous besoin, la place pour vous. Mais qu'on est là, je vais dans le piolier. On est là, c'est pour aller pour voter pour Michael Gallagher for sheriff. November 5th, 5 novembre. 5 novembre, c'est le dernier jour pour voter. Parler de lui-même. Monde qui c'est famille, qui c'est cousine, qui c'est ma tante. Même petit tout. Talk to them about Michael Gallagher. Parler des amours de Michael Gallagher. Et puis, qu'on y a là, et ou après résultat, et Michael Gallagher pas hésiter tout pour lui remercier la communauté. I know he will not hesitate to come back to the community to say a big thank you, and then we are willing and waiting for that big day to have Michael Gallagher as sheriff. Thank you, ANDEDAN POLITIC, Dr. MARC LAFALAISE, Michael Gallagher. Merci.
Nous t'égons comme un smoke, on a une affaire with la n'est pas quand t'as goûté. For just what TV a fini chez nous. Tout bel programme, on remet where you n'a poté tout pour. N'est pas quand t'as goûté. For just what TV a fini chez nous. Politique, nous là. Belle musique, toujours là. Couverture tout événement spécial. For just what TV, entrevue, nous là. Documentaire,